Hey folks, I'm Red Monster SC, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the updates to mining coming in Star Citizen Alpha version 4.1.1. Now, while there are no major gameplay updates, we do have a handful of quality of life fixes that can have you mining operators thinking a little bit more efficiently and maybe pushing the boundaries on what you can do with a large-scale group operation. Now, before we jump in, if this video helps you, if you learned something new, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel to see more great content like this. Also, leave a comment letting me know what feature you're most excited about coming up in 4.1.1. Now, the first major quality of life change is that the ore pods are now properly snapping to the freight elevator when they're being raised and lowered. That means you no longer have to put a layer of cargo in as a buffer as you're retrieving new cargo pods to either swap out the prospector to get the 48 SCU cap, or just trying to get extra pods for the mole. Now, unfortunately, the Argo and the Misk ore pods are still pushing up into that third layer of cargo, so you're not going to be able to stack them on top of each other. As well, you're not going to be able to put them onto the Argo raft, which I know has been a personal favorite for transporting bags back and forth from the field. However, they do still fit in other ship cargo grades, like the Hercules C2, which I was able to fit 40 pods in, which is enough to service 5 fully crewed moles. Now, the second quality of life fix is that you can now refine from stored ore pods out of the station inventory. These are treated as a single storage entity when you have multiple pods stored at the same location, and unlike earlier PTU versions, the pods are now successfully being returned after you refine the order. This means that you don't even need a mining ship at the refinery station, so you can have logistics specialists in a large-scale operation just moving bags back and forth, while still being able to put the refinery orders in. This might mean for larger refinery orders, which, while they would take longer time to complete, would return larger boxes as the finished goods material to simplify your cargo hauling in the future. Now, unfortunately, there's not as much of the rounding up error that happens with small orders when you get a partial SCU, but it does mean that you are going to have an easier time transporting those larger cargo crates. And one big note on these stored ore pods is that it pauses the volatile material timer on Quantainium. This timer does resume when you retrieve the unrefined pods from the station inventory, but that also means you can get a little creative and use these bags as a timed explosive. The damage amount does seem to depend on how much Quantainium you have stored, and while it might be an interesting trick, it may also be a very expensive bomb. And the third major change is that you can collect your finished orders directly into the station inventory instead of requiring a cargo ship there to load them into. This allows you to bypass the cargo transport entirely, especially if the station you're refining at also buys most of those commodities. You can sell that material directly, and maybe you only have to move what the station won't buy. In addition, this allows you to split the load into a couple of runs if you only have a small capacity cargo hauler.
But why should we care?
I can see this as a big bonus for small-scale operators or entry-level miners who don't have the support of a cargo ship. With the ability to store your refined goods directly into the station, as long as you're refining at a station that will buy some or most of those refined goods, you can skip the cargo hauling loop entirely. I also see this as a big benefit to larger orgs who like to run with a system where you swap ore pods out in the field. We've tested this a few times with the Red Legion during my Sunday morning mining sessions, and while it did work, it felt like more workaround than actual gameplay. This helps that system settle into something that feels a lot more natural. The one downside I can see from this is that this is going to be pushing the upper limit from what I consider reasonable as far as refinery times. Right now, the refinery time scales linearly with the volume that's being refined in a single order, and with large orgs that are able to bring in 800 SCU or more during a mining session, if you put all of that material into a refinery under one order, I could see that taking 15 or more days. That's just not sustainable in the current environment, where a patch will wipe out all of your pending refinery orders, and we might only have a few days lead time to plan for that. And there you have it, the mining quality of life changes coming to Star Citizen Alpha version 4.1.1. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment letting me know what part of these quality of life fixes you're looking forward to the most. Now also, don't forget to check out my Sunday morning mining sessions, which are live on both Twitch and YouTube, Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. Mountain Time, where you get to watch myself and the rest of the Red Legion put these mining changes to work. Thanks for watching.